welcome to or welcome back to 4F Beauty. When will I be YouTube famous? I still don't know. Two videos for you today. First one is me testing out this, which is the Becca, what is it? Aqua Luminous Perfecting Foundation. Now we know that normally luminous foundations don't last that long on my skin, so it'll be interesting to see just how that copes during the day. As always, there will be two check-ins for you so that you can see how this wears on my oily combo skin. So, without further ado, I'm not quite sure what they're doing next door, I'm sorry if you can hear that. Without further ado, here comes the review. Hey, welcome back from the intro. Probably already shown you this. It's not a new foundation, but it's a new one for me. It's the Becca Aqua Luminous Perfecting Foundation. I got shade Fair, which is the second lightest shade. The lightest shade is Porcelain, but QVC didn't have that one because that's where I bought this from. Looks like it might be a wee bit dark, but we'll see. The one thing that I do like about QVC is their 30-day return policy. So if this is too dark, I can send it back and get my money back, basically. It's about the only place in the UK that you can actually return opened makeup. The little sticker there says shake well before use, so I'm shaking well before use. I have washed, moisturised and primed my face with my usual antiperspirant. Let's take this off. Pretty little sticker. Stick that down there for a minute. Right, so how do we do this? Shake well, twist cap until button pops up, push and release button to fill dropper. Okay. 1 to 2 drops of foundation for the face. If more coverage is required, let dry and then build 1 to 2 drops over time. Right, the brush I'm going to use is this Tarte brush. That, funny enough, I got this from QVC as well because I bought the Rainforest of the Sea foundation from Tarte way back before my whole Tarte embargo. And I find that this is actually really, really good for that one. And as this is, oh yeah, button pops up, see that? Push the button down. There we go. If you've got nails, you're going to have to use your knuckle. And then, what was I saying? Oh yeah, before my whole Tarte self-imposed embargo, they reckon 2 drops. I'm going to do 3 because this one's about to drop off anyway. Pop that back in the bottle. Screw the lid back on, because you know what I'm like, and let's zoom you in. Let's hope this one is actually better than the last drop foundation I tried, which was that NYX one. Well, it's certainly spreading out around the face better. Let's see how this works in, shall we? I mean, with drop foundations, generally they are light to light medium coverage, just by virtue of the type of foundation that they are. Although those NYX cover drops did reckon they could get up to a full coverage, but yeah, I wasn't convinced by that. Looks like I might be okay with that shade actually. Well, you can see that's very, very super, super light coverage on me. Those 3 drops. You know, you can still see all my freckles, the under eye. So, let's see how much we can build this up. I haven't got a rabbit owl in my kitchen, that's my ringtone. if you can hear that. Right, let's see if we can get a wee bit more coverage from this. See if it will build up at all. It does feel super lightweight going on, but then drop foundations usually do. I tend to wear foundations like this when we get hot weather here in the UK, which sometimes we get, sometimes we don't. We randomly had a few hot days this April. I don't know whether that's our summer or whether we're going to get some more in sort of June, July, August, but I quite like this coverage. My skin's not too bad at the moment in terms of breakouts. I had a few breakouts the other week, which I think was stress related because of, you know, death in the family and then death of a friend, and then it was just like. So yeah, I mean that's still, I'd call that, I suppose, light medium. It's certainly evened out my skin tone, because obviously I do get quite red just here, and it's evened that out quite nicely. Obviously it's not covered much in terms of dark circles and things, but I quite like this. It's definitely a light medium. Now, shall I push this and see if it can go any deeper? I'm going to try one more, just to see whether we can get any more coverage with this. Just to see. Just a challenge to myself to see whether. I mean, I'd be quite happy to stop here. I want to see how this builds up and whether it does. Because I know that a lot of people don't like anything except full coverage. I'm quite lucky. I've looked after my skin. I've got a few sort of scarrings from spots that I picked as a teenager. Obviously I've got the teabag birthmark stain up here. But you know, I'm fastidious about taking off my makeup before I go to bed, to the point that I actually have a packet of wet wipes by the bed. So if I've come home particularly tired, or been to a party and maybe had a little bit to drink and forget to take my makeup off, then I've got wet wipes by the bed, and I cannot sleep in makeup. I will, even if no matter how much I've had to drink, I will wake up 20 minutes later going, I've got to get this off my face. And because our bathroom is downstairs, I just use wet wipes because it gets, face wipes. I use these. They've got vitamin C and provitamin B5 in it, so actually that's actually built up quite nicely. That's built up more than I was expecting it to. Right. I think concealer-wise, I will go in with my Colourpop, which was originally Fair 5, but since they've renamed them all, I think this is now Light 10, I think. Because obviously with a lighter coverage foundation, I don't want my super bright white concealer, because that will just look daft. Right, let's get my, I think I'll use my usual flat foundation brush. I'll give these a clean off in a minute. Oh, I've got to do a little dimply bit there. There we go. Always do those little bits just on the inside of your nose, especially if you're a glasses wearer, because it's surprising how dark they can actually get just there. So I'm just going to spread this out just so we can get a final look and the check-in time for once my base products are on. I'm so rude, I haven't even asked you how your day's going yet. I hope you're having a good one, or had a good one if you're at the end of your day watching me. As always, I will use a wet wipe in a minute and clean these brushes because whenever I've used liquids or creams or anything like that on a brush, I always wipe it off on a face wipe and get it as clean as I can on a face wipe. Partly because it's much easier to clean a brush when it's still, the product is still wet and it hasn't dried down. Partly because it extends the lifespan of your brushes. I find that anyway. Partly because it means if I want to use this brush again tomorrow, the bristles aren't going to be stiff, and if I'm trying out a new product, I don't get any cross contamination from the previous one, so I can actually do a proper, wear time test on things. And also because when you do your deep clean, it's so much quicker if you've already made a start. Right, okay, I quite like this. It's quite a Aqua Luminous. Well, of course it's going to be luminous. It's quite nice actually. I'll be interested to see how that lasts on me. Right, it is currently 1:30, so a little bit later than my usual. I will zoom off camera now and oh good lord. Apparently Sainsbury's and Asda are in merger talks, although both brands are expected to be retained. Great. Anyway, enough breaking news. I'm going to go off camera now and do the rest of my face, and when I come back, I'm going to be looking much more colourful, so don't go anywhere now. Hey, I'm back. As you can see, a lot more colourful. I've used the Unicorn Heart palette from Revolution today, and one of their new multi-liners, which looks like one of these Bic pens where you slide the colour down that you want. Fantastic idea for travelling. You've got 4 colours in there, superb. Which I actually used on my waterline. Now, it's a little bit later than my usual when I come back with a full face. It's coming up 3:30 now, so the foundation's actually been on for 2 hours already, so you can see it hasn't really oxidised much at all, which is good. And obviously it's still looking fine, because after 2 hours I would expect it to still be looking fine. Basically my husband decided to do us bacon sandwiches for lunch, and I'm not going to say no to a bacon sandwich, my makeup can wait. So yeah, that's why there was a bit of a longer break this time before me coming back with my full face on. So I will again do my 2 check-ins today so that we can see how this wears on my oily combo skin. So I've got a few hours to wait now, but for you it's going to be pretty instant, so don't go anywhere. Hey, welcome back to the first check-in. It's 7 o'clock, so this has been on for 5.5 hours, so let's have a scoot in and see how it's doing. Just starting to split and settle into that line there. Still looking nice and hydrated. It's come off the end of my nose a little bit, but I have been doing that quite a bit. Just starting to settle a little bit around there. Base products are all still okay. Hang on a minute. Sorry about that, I had an alarm going off on my phone in the other room. Yeah, I mean, so far it's actually doing quite nicely. Obviously, it wasn't very high coverage in the first place, so I wasn't expecting it to be looking very cakey yet. I'm actually quite impressed with this so far, so we'll see how it looks at the second check-in. But for now, I'm quite happy with it. See you again in a minute. Hey, welcome back to the final check-in. Okay, it is just gone 11:30, so this has been on for 10 hours. Let's have a zoom in, see how it's doing. It doesn't appear to be settling in that line. That doesn't appear to have got any cake here either, so that's good. My under eyes are still looking lovely and hydrated. Looking really scrappy on my nose though. Really quite patchy here. Completely come off the end there. Smile lines are okay. Yeah, it's come off my chin quite a lot as well. All my base products are still where they should be though, so on the drier parts of my face it's done really well. Okay, let's I think I've subjected you to a close-up of my face for quite enough for one day. So, what's my final thoughts on the Becca Aqua Luminous foundation? I really like this. As with all luminous foundations, I never expect them to last more than about 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours at a push on my skin, and you know, this was true to form. 5-6 hours, looked okay, was starting to go a little bit here, but could have been rescued with a bit of powdering, maybe a bit of blotting. Could maybe have eaten another hour or so out of it, but by the end of the night it's just, my face doesn't like it. But then that's true of all luminous foundations on my skin anyway. It's certainly fared better than some of the drugstore luminous foundations that I've tried. It really has done quite well, so I like that. So if you want a luminous foundation and you've got oily combo skin, you're going to have to accept the fact it's not going to be an all-day thing. If you want all-day makeup and you've got any kind of oily skin, you're going to have to go for a matte or demi-matte finish to get any kind of longevity. But in terms of luminous foundations, I really like that. It's felt so light today, I've hardly felt like I've got any foundation on at all, so that's a really good sign. So yeah, all told, that gets a thumbs up from me. So I hope you found this helpful and informative and you liked it. If you did, perhaps you could hit that like button for me, comment, subscribe. If you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the little bell, and then you get a notification every time I upload a new one of these. So all that's left for me to say is, wherever you are in the world, whatever time zone you're in, and whatever time of day you're watching me, hope you have a fab one. Bye for now.